In this video, we're going to look at Roman numerals. Some of you may be familiar with Roman numerals. We see them on clocks, we see them on watches. They're around. We see them on the Super Bowl. They're around. We see them sometimes. The symbols and values that we need to be aware of with the Roman numeral system are a symbol for the value of 1, a symbol for 5, a symbol for 10, a symbol for 50, a symbol for 100, a symbol for 500, and a symbol for 1000. These are the symbols that we'll be using that you'll need to be familiar with. In a very basic sense, the Roman numeral system is what's called an additive system. If we have a number like CLVII, we are just going to add the values up. Here we've got 100 plus 50 plus 5 plus those two ones is 2 more, and so the value of that number is 157. The only place where this isn't the case, where we don't just strictly add them up, is in the case of a number like this one, where we have a smaller value in front of a larger value. Here we've got a 1 in front of a 5. Whenever that happens, that is a key, an indicator. It tells us that what we're supposed to do here is subtract the smaller from the larger. So we're not going to add these up. When we've got a smaller in front of a larger, we're going to do subtraction, and this 5 minus 1 tells us that the value of this number is 4. Similarly, if we see the combination of letters XL written down, it's not extra large, don't do that. It's 10 in front of a 50. Hey, that's a small number in front of a large number. That means I need to subtract, so this is 50 minus 10, which is 40. Let's look at another example of a Roman numeral and see if we can translate it. If we've got M, XC, IV. Well, we just need to keep track of our values here. Starting out, if we've got that M, that's 1,000. Then I've got an X, which my first thought might be, hey, that's 10, but wait a minute, look carefully. I've got an X in front of a C. That's a smaller number in front of a larger number. So that's a 10 in front of a 100. I need to subtract. 100 minus 10, the value of that combination of letters is 90. And then here again, I've got IV. When we've got a smaller number in front of a larger number, instead of doing any addition there, I've got to subtract 5 minus 1, and that's a 4. So the value of this number is 1094. Now, if you're thinking, this subtraction thing is pretty cool. So if I wanted to write the number 95, could I just put VC, 5 in front of 100? Well, unfortunately, you can't. In the Roman numeral system, the subtractions that we're allowed to do are only when the numbers are close to each other in place value. Here's what I mean by that. IV is okay, and IX is okay. And that's because we've got a 1 and a 5, which have the same place value, a 1 and a 10, which are right next to each other in place value. And XL is okay, and XC is okay. 10 and a 50, same place value. A 10 and a 100, one place value away, so it's okay. And then C in front of D is okay, C in front of M is okay. And here what we've got is 100 in front of 500, same place value, 100 in front of 1,000, only one place value away. These are the subtractions that we're going to use. Those 6, we're not going to use any others. So now it's our turn to write a Roman numeral. We're going to take this Hindu Arabic, the system that we use, number, and rewrite it as a Roman numeral. Okay, well, I need 500. That's a D. And then I need 70. Well, okay, I can go 50, 60, 70, and then 3 was just 1, 2, 3. 573. We're just adding the symbols up. That was a relatively easy one. What happens if we want to do 574? Well, we know we can start out with 500, and we know how to get to 70. And then my first instinct might be to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 574. Well, the trouble with that is, in the Roman numeral system, we're never going to put 4 of the same symbol in a row. So that's not the way that we're going to write the number 4. Instead, we know a technique for writing the number 4. We are going to use our subtraction, and we're going to say, well, if I want to write the number 4, I'm going to do 1 in front of a 5, and that's the number 4. So there's the number 574. Let's try 299. All right, well, I can start out with 200. Now I want to write 90. What I'm not going to do is 9 of these, because I can't use more than 3 in a row. So I certainly can't use 9 in a row. So that we're not going to do. Instead of that, what we're going to do when we want to write 90 is we're going to do 10 in front of 100. And there's our 90. Then with 9, here again, I'm not going to do that. I'm not allowed to use more than 3 in a row. So I certainly can't use 9 in a row. So that's not going to be the way that we're going to write 9. Instead, we're going to use our subtraction technique and write 9 that way. And take a look. We've got 299. And that's how we're going to work with the Roman numeral system.